your starting lineups. First for the Colonels from Center College. At attack, number 5, Christian Underhill. In the mid, number 6, Duncan McDonald. At mid, number 9, Will Morrison. At mid, number 12, Ethan Hanna. On defense, number 16, Ian Hubbs. At attack, number 17, Ryder Golton. At defense, number 22, Graham Robbins. At attack, number 25, Will Hubbs. At attack, number 26, David Caldwell. And in goal for the Colonels, number 33, Sammy Zickle. The Colonels are coached by Grant Zimmerman, and he is assisted by Phil Havira and Patrick Hiroshi. And now for your Southern Virginia Knights. Starting at defense, number 2, Justin Mitchell. At mid, number 3, Carter Bean. At defense, number 5, Garrison Brook. At attack, number 10, Tennyson Schmidt. At attack, number 16, Gabe Dees. Facing off, number 19, Jaden Arnold. At defense, number 23, Michael Brown. At defense, number 31, Seth Millington. At attack, number 32, Sean Lamb. And in goal for the Knights, number 20, Caleb Brody. The Knights are coached by Jason Lamb, and he is assisted by Greg Gowdy.
And welcome to Southern Virginia University. I am Scotty Winterton bringing you this call on a bit of a hazy afternoon here in Buena Vista, nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Southern Virginia University men's Knights lacrosse team taking on the Center College Colonels. Right away, Colonels come out with the face-off win. That's Dylan Croft, sophomore from Towson, Maryland, went to St. Paul's School. Hotbed of lacrosse. St. Paul's always in the national running for top 25 high school teams in the country. Center College brings in a number of players from outside of Kentucky. Center College is in Danville, Kentucky, about the same size as SVU, about 1,200 students. Here, JT Cotrier facing up against one of the top players for the Colonels. That was Duncan McDonald. Will Hubbs, leading scorer for the Colonels. You'll see him on that right and left-hand side. Captain for the Knights, Carter Bean. Quick double team, backside. Knights have to rotate here. And a great bounce shot, number 26. Fantastic shot, David Caldwell, the freshman out of Roanoke, Virginia, North Cross High School. Did a fantastic job. The Colonels overall, I mean, the finish came from Caldwell, but you saw the Knights on a bit of a rotation there with Carter doubling down on the attackman and the quick pass over. I saw the Colonels in their warm-ups, a lot of quick open your hips and move the ball. We call that bouncing, bouncing away from the defender. Great job carrying the defender, carrying actually the double team, allowing his teammates to get open. And then the one pass, two pass, three pass, and a finish straight away. Here, Jaden Arnold be able to take the second face-off. And that whole play begins when you have 25, when you have Will Hubbs, their leading scorer. Will Hubbs comes into the game with 33 points, 24 goals, 9 assists. Doesn't get the credit for anything right there, but initiated that whole offensive set. Knights will go into 6-man above package. Double team comes, opportunity down low, finding the waiting hands of Tennyson Schmidt. Sean Lamb doing a great job getting to his left hand, his strong hand. Comes around that sweep, beats the double team, and that Z-line slide from the double, which is a slide upfield from the middle of the field. If that doesn't get there aggressively and force the defender, or sorry, the offensive player to bounce high and away from the cage, if he can sweep around that slide, now he sees the whole field. And that's what happened to Sean Lamb. He beats the slide, and the slide came appropriate. It was a perfect slide in terms of timing, but the angle allowed Sean to come around the slide with his strong left hand surveying the field, finds Tennyson Schmidt, who is a ghost. So hard to track him on the field. This one, Clamp initially won from the second face-off, 37, Alex Mozingo. Alex comes in at 58%. Dylan Croft, number 8, comes in at just at 60%. Kind of a two-headed monster. They go not quite 50-50. Croft has taken 120 on the year in terms of numbers of face-offs. Mozingo's taken 58. It's kind of a 2-to-1. You'll see a lot of teams will do that. It's a luxury for Coach Zimmerman, the head coach, Grant Zimmerman, to have a second face-off guy that can be at 60%. Max Spears, midfielder, carries. Second midfield on right now. This is Mick Gannetti, the junior from Fitchburg, Massachusetts. He'll kick it back over to the far side with about 20 seconds left. Pass sneaks through. As long as it doesn't get to the midfield line, he'll stay center ball here with quick shot coming off the stick of Mick Gannetti. Save from recently returned goalie Caleb Brody. Had his first game back a season. Carter Bean in transition as he finds Tennyson Schmidt sitting at 7 yards in the hash. What we mean by that is you get to use often lacrosse teams end up playing on football line fields. And when you see a player sitting on the hash mark at about 7 yards, which is right where Tennyson Schmidt was, that's a shot that you want to take every day, all day long. And it started with the save from Caleb, quick outlet, and Carter Bean using his speed to get underneath the defensemen that were in transition with him, and then kind of poor communication from the three pulls down on defense for the Colonels, leaving Schmidt open. Good face-off win for Dylan Croft. Croft comes in with 4 points on the season. He's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Takes a quick one right there. It's a great shot in terms of shot selection. Just couldn't get it past Brody. The Knights refusing to slide to the attack, to the face-off man, not leaving their attackman, leaving Caleb Brody out on an island, saying, "It's all you, bud. Make the save or not, it's on your head." Brody was up to the task. Knights will bring in their starting midfield again. This is Gabe King, the left-handed attackman, starting high out of the corner. Sweeps across to his left hand. Center College would be wise to try to avoid his left hand. He's got a great shot, really developed over the year. I mean, we're still early in the season, but King already has 12 points with 10 goals, 2 assists. You know he's probably going to shoot. You want to keep him off of that left hand. He had a goal very similar to this last game. I know Coach Zimmerman and his staff watched that game. You got to keep him off his left hand or he's going to take that shot and rip it. Great job. Sammy Zickel is in cage. He comes in with giving him 9 1/3 goals per game with a .525 save percentage. That's very good. Just not quite sure the caliber of teams they faced. They're 4-3 overall. 2 early wins against Wittenberg and Elmhurst. And then they lose to Ohio Wesleyan, traditionally a very good team. Ohio Northern, also a good team. Kenyon, a good team. So those are 3 losses in a row. Now they beat Barry and Piedmont. Barry, conference game. So they're 1-0. The Knights also beat Barry. It's the only game they have in common. Sean Lamb gets to his left hand and a great save. Zickel, not really challenged to do much right there. Pretty much stick side high. The Knights have, if you've watched it all, known to go into a 10-man ride. Not really in that 10-man ride right now, but they will do a match feet ride, which is what this is. And the goal out of Graham Robbins as he was being pestered all along the way from Tennyson Schmidt. Tennyson Schmidt unable to dislodge the ball, nobody sliding, and Robbins able to take it all the way to the house. That big long stick coming over the top, and Caleb Brody going down to his knees early over the top of his shoulder was the shot. Robbins only had 1 other shot on the season. No goals, no assists. So that's his first points of the year. Great job on him in the clear, taking on the match feet one-on-one challenge that Tennyson Schmidt was putting on him. Tennyson Schmidt will hitch and stick knocked out of his hands with a timely check. Again, it's Robbins. He's going to go spend some time on the offensive side of the field again. This time gets the ball out of his stick. He'll come back to his own defensive end. First midfield, here's Duncan McDonald on the ball, joined by his line mate Christian Underhill. Also coming in, Ethan Hanna, sophomore from Austin, Texas, St. Andrews Episcopal. I mentioned center, Coach Zimmerman going far and wide to find players to be at Center College. Pick comes. You see Hubbs with a short stick. He's going to take Isaac DeJarlis back to the corner. The Knights setting up in an early slide package, basically a zone setup with Justin Mitchell looking to slide right away. He does, gets to the hands. Ty Veers with the interception on that pass up the wing. Double teamed, looking for a teammate. Eventually finds DeJarlis, who will carry over midfield. Now the Knights to Michael Brown. He'll step in at 14 yards. Great save off the stick of Zickel. Sean Lamb chases the ball down, garners the ground ball. Lamb comes in with 15 ground balls on the season. That's good for top 5 on the team. Michael Brown pick up this semester for the Knights out of Northern Virginia. Sterling Thatcher, trigger for the Knights. Knights try to put attackmen and midfielders in lots of different positions. Strong left-hand shot about 12 yards, misses to the right. Talking about Thatcher, an attackman from Vail, Arizona. Quick lever pass, doesn't reach the mark. Lamb not able to handle a good ground ball on the backside. That was that's Will Morrison, the LSM, the senior from Columbus, Ohio, puts the ball downfield quickly, really trying to get the ball in and out of their sticks and push fast. Clearly, Coach Zimmerman doing his scouting, knowing the Knights will go into a 10-man ride, bringing the goalie out to get involved with covering somebody on the clear, which is that transition from defense to offense. Normally, you're kind of up a man. You got the goalie and your 6 players. That ball falls to the ground. Great ground ball from Carter Bean. He'll outrun Mick Gennady, and the Colonels do a good job of getting in, settling up, trying to get the right personnel on. The Knights are led. I mentioned Sean Lamb comes in with 31 points, 18 goals, 13 assists. Tennyson Schmidt, who already has 2 goals, second on the team with 16 goals and 10 assists. Lamb will save that ball. Nope. They're going to say he wasn't able to. Hit the end line. That errant pass. Quickly into Zickel. Knights again in a match feet ride. Knights a bit confused on who can go over. And the save from Caleb Brody in prime position was Will Hubbs. Pick up his team leading 34th point, 25th goal. Can't do it as Caleb Brody snuffs out the shot. JT Cotrier clears easily. Michael Brown involved. He'll look to step in to shoot. Thinks better of it. Back to Sean Lamb. He gets topside. Quick dodge against Ian Hubbs. Ian Hubbs, a senior from Louisville. Sean Lamb, one of the local products. Youngest son of head coach Jason Lamb. Jason Lamb in his 9th season at SVU. Came from director of operations at Notre Dame University, working with their lacrosse program. Quick pass down low and not able to sneak it past the stick of Zickel. That was Zach Sullivan quickly trying to jump upfield. Errant pass from Zickel, but the 10-man ride. Knights are in a bit of a difficult situation, but Gardner able to come up with the ground ball, backhand pass. Such a great skill set, a tool that all poles need to have. And then Brown winds up from about 4 yards away with the long pole, sticks it top shelf. All starting with that errant pass as Zickel was looking to clear the ball. Made a great save against Sullivan. Not able to finish. And then the quick transition from defense to offense off of the ground ball. And I have to say that the aggressive ride from Caleb Brody, able to put the ball on the ground. Ground ball from Gardner. Gardner with a quick backhand. Knights end up 4-2 in the lead. It was a good look from Zickel as he looked across the middle of the field, had a teammate coming across, just low pass, and then a great job in transition. Ty Veers to Tennyson Schmidt, looks down to the awaiting arms, the loving arms of Michael Brown, who finishes strong. Timeout from Coach Zimmerman, trying to settle his boys down. 4-2. They've gotten opportunities on the offensive end, but it feels like about half of their rides have been a little bit chaotic. Zickel is playing fantastic, 3 saves, as is Caleb Brody. Has so far the save of the game as he snuffed out Will Hubbs on that doorstep stop. Similarly, Zickel had one against Sullivan, but the one against Hubbs was one-on-one with Hubbs coming across the face of the crease. That was a more difficult save, to be sure. Knights 5 of 5 on the clears, and the Colonels 4 of 5. So both teams doing what they want to in transition. The Knights are catching 2 of these goals just in sort of a transition mode. That last one clearly a fast break. Schmidt, King, and Brown, the goal scorers for the Knights. David Caldwell and Graham Robbins, the long stick, scoring the goals for the Colonels. LSM grabbing the ground ball. That was Jack Furlong. Shot goes wide and picked up by Hubbs in the back line. No, not Hubbs, sorry. His teammate, David Caldwell. Those numbers look very similar. The yellow numbers on the white jersey. I don't know, never a good idea. Always hard to tell the 6s and the 5s. Or I just might be getting old. Crossfield pass nearly intercepted from Brown. It's a very good job from Ethan Hanna to secure the ball. Christian Underhill tried to trigger that one. Now his teammate Duncan McDonald doing the same. Pushes it behind. Interference called, going to be called on Garrison Cook as he drove the center offensive player into the crease. And then a sneaky right-handed backhand shovel shot from leading goal scorer Will Hubbs. There's his 25th goal of the season. Cutting the lead in half. Now the Knights up 4-3. Should wave off the penalty. Unless they're going to call a cross check. Yeah, no, penalty's waved off. Garrison Cook will come off. He drove, I think it was Ryder Knowlton that he pushed into the crease. You can't, as a defensive player, you can't drive an offensive player into the crease. They're not allowed to go in of their own volition, and that would end up being a turnover. Since they had the ball, a technical foul, flag goes down. Great check on the ball in the hands of Zickel. It's going to be a free clear. Seth Millington, doesn't matter where the ball, so if you saw that, Zickel's stick was actually outside the crease. Like if you were to make the crease a cone that went upwards, the fact that Zickel's feet were in the crease means he is in the crease. And as he secured the ball, now the ball is also counted in the crease, even though the stick itself was outside the cylinder. He's in possession of it. It means he's in control, and the ball is actually in the crease. Seth Millington comes, checks the stick, which is in possession of Zickel in the crease. That ends up being a free clear for the Colonels. Got their second, I believe it's their second midfield. Noah Mulubi triggers for, no, this is still the first line. Nick Ganiti chasing that one down. Second on the team, number 26. So Will Hubbs and David Caldwell, the two primary scorers, 24 and 17 goals apiece. And then you have the other attackman, Ryder Knowlton, doing the bulk of the scoring for the center offense. Really just triggered by these midfielders. Although Noah Mulubi, he's fourth on the team with 8 points, 6 goals, 2 assists. Shot will go wide. 25 seconds left on the shot clock. Minute 16 in the game. Brad Gardner looks to go up against Caldwell. It's trying to staying in his left hand, underhand sails over the cage, and they're going to say that there was no backup in time. As the ball went over the end line, referee says that the goalie was the closest player. Even though he didn't turn and run it out, still the closest player to the ball. The drop 3-3 ride. Pass goes over the head of Eric Knorr. Tension Schmidt forced to try and chase it down. Now Zickel, quick transition, finds defenseman Gavin Fields, the LSM from Berlin, Wisconsin, transfer from Marquette University. From Marquette University High School. And center will take their time. They're gonna trying to figure out exactly what. I think they're getting the shot clock right. 80 seconds on the shot clock, which won't matter since there's 31 seconds in the quarter. It's kind of a random whistle blown. They put 60 seconds on the shot clock. Again, it doesn't matter. There's only 31 seconds left in the quarter, so shot clock a non-factor. Inverted dodge against Carter Bean. Carter really considered one of the better defenders for the Knights. Man, ping pong hit hard down underneath. Hannah put the ball over across. He drove that left hand, finding his line mate. It was Duncan McDonald. And McDonald drives into the teeth of the defense and just gets hammered.
Center 3.
Tried to come underneath to Jarlis, puts it into his strong right hand. Brown and Carter Bean combine on the slide. Put McDonald on the ground. Caleb Brody with the save. So looking over the first quarter stats. Both teams 5 of 6 on their clears. Both teams with 4 turnovers. Neither team went man up or man down. And just a little bit of an edge to the Colonels in terms of shots and shots on goal, 11 and 9. The Knights have 9 shots, 7 on goal. Brody with 6 saves and Zickel with 3. Hasn't really had a save since kind of early in about midway through the first quarter. So we'll take a quick 30-second break, come right back. All right, face off for second quarter. Arnold going up against Croft. Wing play not been much of a factor. I think there were only 2 scrums. Croft ends up putting it behind him. Grabs the ground ball. Just as we started the first quarter. Second quarter will start with the Colonels on the ball. Bringing in Malabai, Gennady, and line mate Max Spears. Spears with 4 goals on the season. Second amongst the midfielders. Malabai is number 1. Quick, slick pass, but can't be handled by Gennady. And quick transition with Brown. Gets all the way to the heart and cannot finish as the ball bounces. I think they'll count that as a save. I believe Zickel got his stick on it. Couldn't quite tell. Kind of a tough pass to handle as Hubs falling away. Sidearm pass. That's going to be tough to handle. And Gabe King, great job on on the quick dodge with what we call a tango pick coming from the crease. Gabe King opens up. For the quick pass comes to his stick, forcing a rotation from the defense. You'll notice that as Thatcher dodges, King comes up behind his defenseman, and then he just slips the opposite way, and the rotation not quick enough from Ian Hubbs. Quick sidearm shot from the left. He puts the ball on cage for his second goal. And 12th of the season. Second of the game. Good job on the ground ball and fighting to get it down to the attack. Excellent wing play now from the Colonels. They need those face-offs to keep pace with the Knights, down by 2. You don't want to let the other team get on a run. Christian Underhill dodges to his right, pushes it over to Ethan Hanna, who has maybe the Knights' best long stick, and then another errant pass, this time between Caldwell and McDonald. Peyton Merwin, he found Garrison Cook. Garrison Cook already with a couple goals on the season, looking for another one. He'll get back, and the Knights will transition with their second midfield line. You see Landon Barney coming on, Connor Hackey, and Carter Bean staying on for the moment. We'll see if he stays on. And Bryce Gardner will stay on the sideline, trying to keep dodge against an offensive midfielder. That's why Carter Bean's staying on. Gabe King again to his left hand. As the approach, gave King a left-handed dodge across the middle, gets to the middle of the cage. Again, those Z-line dodges, the dodges across the face of the defender to the middle of the field. You really got to do what we'll call the defender needs to step right-footed there, which is like take your right foot and step upfield of the offensive player so that he has to go more around you, and then you continue to step upfield, driving him up the Z-line. Not able to do that, getting his hands free, coming across the middle of the field. Great shot and finish. Coutrer, stick check, gets his own stick check, and the ball quickly out. Man, that was a dangerous pass, and the shot and a save from Zickel again. How many of these can they give up? Fantastic check against Gabe King. That should have been, I think, no, they're not going to call it. The Colonels had the ball, and King got tossed to the ground like a rag doll. Referee not calling anything. Ball transitions to the other end. First line, second line midfield. Kind of a mix. Looks like they're mixing in guys. We see for the first time Paxton Brown on the field, the sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. Shot and a save into the stick of Brody. He'll transition on the pass. Aaron, I can't tell if it was a check or just a miss-hit from Brody. Goes right into the awaiting arms of Ryder Knowlton, the sophomore from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Marvin Ridge High School says, thank you very much. Happy birthday to you, Ryder. Not sure he's had an easier goal than that in his college career. I think it was just a check on his hands. Good job from line mate, the attackman, getting hands on the pass of Caleb Brody, forces the errant pass. We'll have a technical call on the field at the face-off X. You'll go to the Knights. The Knights put on Veers, Knorr, and Thatcher at the midfield. LSM Andrew Kahn, the freshman from Alpharetta, Georgia. A lot of players from the South on this team. From Danville, Kentucky. Rotation up to Knorr. We haven't seen a lot out of Knorr recently. Gabe King has the short stick on him. He'll trigger. You'll see this same thing, the fade out Pushes the ball to the side. Hits, I think it hit Eric Knorr. And then the garbage in front of the cage picked up by consummate crease dweller Tennyson Schmidt and puts the ball in the back of the cage. Such a difficult ground ball to get and turn and get the shot off. Tennyson Schmidt does it really well and just had hands all over him and just flicks the ball into the cage, giving the Knights a 7-4 lead. So that dodge from Gabe King meant to create a little confusion on the defense, put some pressure on where you're going to slide from. If you slide from his face, his eyes, which is kind of what happened right there, then he'll have a midfielder he can throw the ball over to. If you slide from the tango pick, he could throw that right back to the slip. Initial shot, I believe Eric Knorr took that one off his back. Ground ball, and Tennyson Schmidt scoops it up. Schmidt with 17 comes into this game, 17 ground balls. Also 9 caused turnovers. Only one other player on the team, Seth Millington, with more caused turnovers than attackman, Tennyson Schmidt. Just a pest. When he rides, he's so aggressive, smart player, senior out of Brighton High School in Salt Lake City, Utah. Similar offensive set right here that we just saw from the Knights. However, Christian Underhill really needs to cause movement, sliding from quick shot, not able to corral the ball with Ryder Knowlton. It's on the ground. Seth Millington will scoop it up. Successful clear. He's got a player across the way. Smart job attacking, and that was an incredible ground ball from Jason Ciosi. But then they got checked out of his stick, right into the awaiting hands of Zickel. And successfully cleared. Great job. Smart play from Ian Hubbs, putting it across, finding the short stick. Ethan Hanna making himself available. He'll come off. And we'll see Paxton Brown come in. Long dodge. That's Max Spears. Quickly pushing the ball to the weak side. Knights are able to get reorganized as Hubbs fades, looks for that underhand shot. That pass has been just not very effective just in terms of completing it for the Colonels. That crossfield pass from one side to the other up top, it's been problematic. This is a good opportunity, but Caldwell throws the ball off the stick of Caleb Brody. Now he reattacks Isaac Jarlis. And that over-the-top pass against the Knights defense is gobbled up. And Caleb Brody unable to get the ball as he comes running out. What happens there, and this is what you want out of your polls, he gets the ball, timeout called by the Knights, I believe. So Millington with a great ground ball, that pickoff, a nugget, coming across on an over-the-top pass, but he was really sandwiched by a couple players in white. You want to turn and find open space. He tried to just get a quick pass off to Brody. You would love it if your goalie immediately was coming out of the cage. That takes a lot of confidence from the goalie to quickly get out. You often talk to goalies about, are you a goalie or are you a lacrosse player first? And if you're a lacrosse player first, then that crease is not your home. And you are the first line of offense as soon as the ball is in the stick of your defenders or your stick, and you've got to abandon the cage, get out, create space. Brody just a little late getting out. Great effort to try and save it from going off the end. It'll be an 80-second shot clock and 7.5 for the Colonels. Really important time. You don't want to go down by 4 and possibly 5 goals. You're down by 3. You're definitely in striking distance. they've gotten the shots, but the last, this quarter, actually, most of this quarter, they haven't generated the kinds of shots they were generating, the quality of shots, because they're not drawing a lot of movement and doubles from the Knights defense. The Knights right now are able to play one-on-one defense and not slide. In that scenario, it's really hard to generate good shots. So up top, Knowlton, McDonald, and Caldwell. Razor pick coming against Garrison Cook. It's this kind of corner pick. And the Knights switch, unafraid to switch. This is Cotrere on Hubs. Little swim dodge. He's looking upfield. Finds McDonald. McDonald just not able to finish. So that's one of the more quality shots we've seen. About 10 yards out. Gardner able to get to his hands. Fake. And that shot well wide. That'll draw an ooh or a yuck from the opposing team's sideline. And Underhill will try to trigger against Carter Bean. It's a difficult task. Carter Bean, really one of the better defenders on the Knights, maybe even the Knights' best defender, short stick or long. Cotrere fighting off the dodge of Caldwell. Again, the Knights don't really care too much about matchups right now. This is opportunity for Garrison Cook going in with the top scorer. And Hubs looks like he's trying to find scores rather than scoring himself. Like he's looking to assist. And that pass unable to be handled. I believe that was number 12 for the Colonels, Ethan Hanna, the midfielder from Austin, Texas. Easily cleared by Eric Knorr. Eric Knorr, a junior midfielder from Colleyville, Texas, went to Grapevine High School. Really developed over the second half of the season last year as a sophomore. And then the quick shot without six men defending against six offensive players, just kind of early 5-on-5 offense. And Ty Veer is able to put that ball away for his first goal of the afternoon. Ty Veers, third leading scorer for the Knights. He's got 9 goals, 7 assists. That'll be his 10th goal on the season. 9 goals coming in. That's really just an early dodge to his right hand. Again, able to get to his strong hand while the Colonels were substituting. Solid face-off win for Dylan Croft, one of his best face-off wins. Unable to generate some offense out of it, but really a clean face-off win. The Colonels have won 8 face-offs to the Knights 6. Nina Jarlis going up against Ganiti. Pass to X and 15-yard shot underhand. The odds of that going in against Caleb Brody, maybe against the lesser goalie, you might have a shot at that, but Caleb Brody will eat most of those up. Early transition off the post, off the goalie, and not in. The ball pinballing all over the place, and then an early outlet. Jason Ciosi, one-on-one. In a 4-on-4, Ciosi gets underneath. Great dodge. Fantastic job by Caldwell, the attackman, freshman from Roanoke. Carries the ball out wide, gets Ciosi stepping at him, and then is able to dodge back underneath as Ciosi stepped at him. Call it a Z dodge, where you pull away and then dodge right back underneath against the stick of the defender. And then then the hard part after that point is protecting your stick and not letting any overhead checks come at you. Great job from Caldwell. Really needed, down by 4, able to get that goal in early transition. Keep the deficit at 3. That's Caldwell's 18th goal of the season. Sorry, that will be his 19th goal of the season. He's got 2 on the day on 2 shots. The other 3 goals coming from Knowlton, Robbins, and Hubbs. The technical foul call, and the Knights will play some defense again. That was the Knights' second face-off man, Peyton Merwin, the freshman from Idaho Falls, Idaho, returned missionary. Knights with a turnover, put the ball to the near side of the field, and Justin Mitchell finds Gabe King in the early outlet. Gabe King doing a great job early in the season as a freshman. I'm sure Mom McKay, Dad McKay and Mom Ashley enjoying watching this. Had to give up some snowboarding to come out here as he's from the beautiful snowy area of Wasatch, Utah. Not sure where his favorite place to go is. Can't go to my favorite ski place, which would be Alta. They don't let snowboarders up there. Gabe, maybe we'll go spend some time at Solitude. And just a kind of a weird play, and the shot deflected from Seth Millington, and he goes down. He's going to make his way off the field, but really great job sucking that goal up, not letting it get to the goal. Garrison Cook tried to grab that ball, tried to go over the top, and that shot goes off the back of the helmet. These new Cascade helmets the Knights are wearing. Really a cool gift from Aptiv. Pest control, with the Knights being able to garner some support from local businesses. This one, national business. Some of the best pest control, maybe the best pest control in the country for my book. If you get a chance, get a hold of an Aptiv agent. They will stop every bug from getting into your house. I'm not talking about you boys out there and your little sister. I'm just talking about the 6-legged creatures. Nice dodge up the right-hand side from Mullaby. Brown, good job getting stick across the hands of Caldwell, not letting a shot get off, and now DeJarlis and Gennady face off. 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and the Colonels will just ice the ball. Knights ball, first shot clock violation of the afternoon with a minute 54. Knights up 8-5. Quality lacrosse game both ways. Great defense, some of the best defense we've seen from the Knights on the afternoon. Forcing those 80 seconds down to 0. And they're going to be offsides. The Knights needed either Knorr on the near side or on the far side. Can't tell who it was. Couturier, one of those two had to stay back. When you go jumbo, a call we have when a pole carries across, a long stick that's one of your 3 defensemen. When they carry across, you need to have somebody stay back for him. And normally you only need one person back, but if it's going to be that long stick and you've pushed your LSM over, then you need a second guy to stay back. And the Knights didn't do that. Dodge from Underhill. Cutting behind the back. Incredible shot. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. Fantastic shot off the pass from Underhill. Caldwell getting fancy, going behind the back. Bring the score deficit to 2, 8-6. A little jump shot fadeaway in celebration. Third goal of the afternoon for Caldwell. Caldwell, as I mentioned, he's from Roanoke, Virginia. Good lacrosse out of Roanoke. North Cross, not necessarily one of the hotbeds from up north that you would see, but he was able to be a two-time lacrosse state champion in I believe the 4A division. Team captain for soccer and lacrosse. Really a fantastic athlete. First team All-State, first team All-Virginia. 50 goals, 23 assists out of high school. The freshman coming in here doing all the work, and then Center College able to get the ball and opportunity to cut the deficit to 1. In Virginia, most of the best lacrosse in terms of like what you would say national powerhouse teams are coming from some of the private schools in Charlottesville, Richmond. So St. Anne's produced Schellenberger, who's considered probably the best offensive player in the country, playing at the University of Virginia. Collegiate out of Richmond, St. Anne's, St. Paul's, St. Agnes up north. But there's some really, really good private public high schools up north. And then the sport is really expanding in Virginia into these southern regions. Roanoke, I think you have to consider Richmond also south. But the big schools up north, Robinson, Lake Braddock, Oakton, Chantilly, these are some of the powerhouse public schools in Virginia. North Cross is not traditionally considered that, but really it's awesome to see the lacrosse coming out of Roanoke, Patrick Henry High School, another one from that area, EC Glass from down south. Great high school lacrosse coming out of some of the southern areas of Virginia now. So with 17 seconds left, shot clock irrelevant, JT Cotrier faces off against Mullaby. He rolls, the slide comes, finds an open Ryder Knowlton, but great save up top from Caleb Brody. That shot, underhand, riser. Brody stayed with it, didn't go to his knees, smartly played, and he'll finish with that save to give him a total of 9. I think that's, hold on, I think that's not quite right. Yeah, that he has, yeah, that'll be his 9th save. Yeah, his 9th save. And the Knights now just with a 2-goal lead. They were at 4, looking to balloon it to 5. Some great play at the end of the second quarter from the Colonels to keep this game close. Not able to cut into the lead here at the end. Both teams playing so close. 21 shots from center to 20 for Virginia, Southern Virginia. Shots on goal, 14 for center, 16 for the Knights. The Colonels winning 10 faceoffs to 6 of the Knights. Really, and it was even till the end when I believe the Croft ended up winning 4 of the last 5. That one that he didn't win coming on a technical call. Both teams pretty solid in the clear, 9 of 11 for the Colonels, 12 of 14 for the Knights. Turnovers even at 10 and 8 apiece for center and the Knights respectively. And no penalties, very clean game. And the referees not only letting them play, but both teams have played very clean lacrosse. So we've got a fantastic game, about 9 minutes left in halftime. And we'll take a 5-minute break, come back, do a little analyzing for the second half, and see if which one of these teams is going to come out on top. Fantastic evening for lacrosse. Nights, the lights have been put on. The skies have cleared up just a little bit. Perfect weather. If you're out there anywhere in Rockbridge County, grab your car, get over here, enjoy some lacrosse. We're back for the second half of this contest between the Southern Virginia University men's lacrosse team and the Center College Colonel lacrosse team. The Knights leading 8-6. Hoping to capitalize on this lead and expand it. At the very least, want to finish by one. The Colonels trying to keep on this win streak. I mentioned that they're on a 2-game win streak, beating Berry and Piedmont. Beat Piedmont just a few days ago on the 21st. The Knights on a 4-game win streak. They lost their first two against number 16 Hampton-Sydney and number 20 Ursinus. Face-off will be a push call against the Colonels. Arnold given credit for the face-off win. The Knights then rolling off 4 wins: Baldwin-Wallace, Berry, Averett, and LaGrange. Those last two being conference games. This game non-conference. The Colonels come into this game having garnered pass across the front of the cage and a great save from Zickel into the hands, though, of Tennyson Schmidt, and he throws a pass you don't get very often when you're right behind the crease, and he's fading to that left side. He throws it back over the top of the crease. Normally a goalie will have his head around, and just because of the save and the nature of the chaos that had happened, Zickel did not have his stick up and his feet turned to handle that pass right across the top of the cage. Catch and finish from Knorr, getting his first finish of the afternoon. That'll be Knorr's 6th goal. No assist, so his 6th point on the season. Just getting hammered down there is Dylan Croft. Ball ends up, they'll say it will go off of a Knight. And it looks like Hubs will go over, pick it up. Great effort from the wings and the face-off, especially there from Croft. Underhill triggers for the offense. We've seen this. Normally they're pushing that ball to the backside. Quick slide from Cotrier. And then to the backside and not finding the cage. Underhill doing a great job pushing the ball back up the other side, the weak side. And the Knights, with that double team from Cotrier, did not rotate quick enough down. And a great opportunity. Mitchell and Cotrier will switch. Bean battling against McDonald. That was a nice job from Hull, getting his hands far and away from his body. Put as much mustard on the shot as he can, but doesn't get it on the frame. Again, Hull takes that. That's the 3rd time we've seen a player catch the ball about 11 yards out and with a quick underhand shot. One of them went, but Brody's been able to stand up to the last 2. Shot clock will reset, so now 60 seconds on the shot clock. Ball deflected, quick underhand shot again from Hull. Up the left-hand side. A little dummy dodge, now into the awaiting arms of Ethan Hanna. He'll circle all the way around the cage. Give it back to Caldwell. That behind the back pass, latter stages of the second quarter. Fantastic job. Quick slide comes from Gardner. Through ball and just over the cage. McDonald will want that one back. Prime spot for him. Good find across the field as the Knights had really sucked in. Right now, the Colonel's doing a much better job generating offense by moving the Knights defense, getting double teams coming, 11 seconds on the shot clock. They're generating the Knights double and rotate and having to reorganize which is not what was happening through most of that second quarter. Quick cut and shot. You want to see Garrison Cook on that cut be a little higher so that he can be on the upfield shoulder, as we saw Ryder Knowlton dodge, or rather cut down with his left hand. As a defender covering off ball, you want to make sure that wherever your defender or your offensive player goes, you can be in a position that when he cuts, you can be on the upfield shoulder to check his stick, or at the very least be disruptive on the shot. It was a nice cut, but unable to really secure the ball from that was Knowlton. Ball gets turned over to the Knights, and they'll look to have their first offensive set of the second half. Oh, I take it back. Tennyson scored that first one in that's their second offensive set. Forgot about Tennyson Schmidt down there. Thatcher drawing a double, quickly pushes it over to King. The Knights will reset with Ty Veers. Draws the double. Strong physical play, ball on the ground. Eric Knorr not really able to handle the physical play of the defender. That was Will Morrison, the senior LSM, playing like a senior. Great job. Ball gets pushed back to the back row, and now Mullaby, 6 seconds to get across. He eventually finds his teammate Hubbs. They're going to call a push from behind. Siosi kind of throwing Hubbs to the ground. Got a couple pairs of brothers on this team. You got the Mullaby brothers, Noah and Nate. Got Will Hubbs, leading scorer on the team. There we just saw his brother Ian, the senior from Louisville, St. Xavier High School. It's always fun to play with your brother. Coach Lamb had 4 of his sons play on this team in the past. We've got Bryce Gardner, who plays with his brother Brad on the Knights team. We've had a number of brothers that are alum and have brothers on the team currently. Curtis Drennan, his brother Tyler, incredible athlete from West Virginia. Now with his wife out in Utah. We had Garrison Cook had his brother on the team, Brady Cook. So the Knights up 3. Penalty. I believe they're just going to give that no, that's going to be a Colonel's timeout. So the Knights, it's all even. They waved the flag off. Not sure why. Nicely played by Brown. Ghosting that slide. Now Contreras gives up the middle. Good fake pass. Great job from Mullaby. That little fake pass when you come across and you look back or you look down to an attackman freezes any kind of slide that might be coming at you. Just not finding the cage. And Knowlton now not finding the cage. They're getting some really good shots, but I think Caleb Brody's in their head, and then they're struggling to get the ball on cage. And when that happens, when the goalie's playing really well, you start to press a little bit. You start to be a little too fine in shooting for pipe, often missing, which is sort of the case right now for these offensive players of the Colonels. DeJarlis going up against Gennady. Gennady inside roll, and finishes. Brody there looking around. Not sure. Brody's not sure how that ball snuck past him. Nice inside roll from Gennady. He gets himself up high enough where when he does step inside the defense of DeJarlis, he's able to get underneath. No slide coming. And just sneaks the ball near side past Brody. Those are scenarios where you have opportunities to coma slide, which is you can kind of come across the face of the crease. Great face-off into the stick of Carter Bean. Smart play from Jaden Arnold. Good transition defense from the Colonels. Everything settled. Not letting this game get out of hand, keeping it at the 2 and 3 goal deficit. Colonels need to get a stop here. Push things closer if they can. They are doing a good job of not letting the Knights get on any significant runs, mainly off the back of winning some key face-offs. King tries to find Knorr on the crease. What a great nugget from the midfielder, J.R. Brockman. Really sneaky nugget as he snuck underneath Knorr, read the pass. The ride pass down to Hull. It'll now be Mitchell against Hull, 2-on-2 as teammates get involved, and great job from Hull to get the ground ball. That is a difficult ground ball against two poles. Comes away with it. The Knights falls over. Just McDonald kind of loses his footing. The Knights now with DeJarlis down the middle of the field. A 15-yard shot off the stick and a rebound from Michael Brown. Great ground ball. Again, little trash time action. Grabbing the ball and finishing has Zickel just putting his hands up. What more can you do? Great transition defense to start, but when the ball hits the ground, Brown is the first one to react, grabs the ball and finishes. Putting the Knights up 10-7. Big 12-yard shot hits off of, I think that first shot went off of number 9, Will Morrison. And then just Johnny on the spot. Here you go. That one a little more difficult than that one that Knowlton did, the interception on Brody. This one he had to actually secure the ground ball before shooting. Not an easy thing. Face off won by the Colonels, and now McDonald and Carter Bean square off. Carter's played fantastic one-on-one defense. Knights have rarely needed to slide to him tonight. Justin Mitchell, football player, going to graduate school and finishing a senior graduate year at Southern Utah University. Play football there next season, as well as being med school. Great ground ball and up the field from Garrison Cook. Michael Brown throws the fake pass, gets 10 yards. Just squeaks wide. Gabe King will quickly trigger the offense. Really solid play from the Knights. This is why they have a 3-point lead. The Colonels have been getting shots. They've been getting good offensive play, especially here in the third quarter, end of the second quarter. But the Knights are getting to these ground balls and have been better in transition than the Colonels. Slide comes to Connor Hackey. Great check and lift. They're going to call a push. That was a really smart slide, getting his stick into the hands of Hackey. That was Gavin Fields, the LSM from Berlin. Hackey tried to turn and run away from that, the Syracuse, Utah native. And then the goal for the Knights. Just sneaky out of nowhere.
Goal Knights. Scored by number 32,
Sean Lamb just grabs that ball. And so they call the push. This is the thing. They call the push on Gavin Fields. Sean Lamb will get a quick pass, and before the defense is ready, really, he dodges, gets to his left hand, just stops at 14 yards and shoots. I mean, there's generally what you would say that's kind of a goalie goal. That's a goal that you want the goalie to stop, but you'd love to have somebody in the hands of Lamb as he's getting ready to trigger that shot. Great ground ball from Andrew Kahn from Alpharetta, Georgia. Having to navigate through a number of Knight defenders, eventually getting into Noah Mulubai's hands. I mentioned Sean Lamb came into the afternoon with 31 points. So far today, Lamb's got 1 goal, 1 assist. Big, strong shot from the right-hander. Great job, David Caldwell. Catches that ball about 12 yards, if you count the width away from the cage. Gets his 4th goal of the afternoon. 4 goals, no assists. That would be his 21st goal of the season. Leads all goal scorers. In fact, he's the only multi-goal scorer for the Colonels. Ganiti, Knowlton, Robbins, Hubs, all with a goal. And then the face-off win. Great job. Securing the ball is Dylan Croft. Colonels now 14. They've won 14 of the 22 face-offs. Michael Brown also has a goal on the day. On for LSM, here's Peyton Merwin. As Mulubai quickly out to Ganiti. And he trying to get underneath DeJarlis, and he does, but the save is there. And then Justin Mitchell on the ground ball and out to Peyton Merwin. Merwin putting a lot of pressure. He'll just come off. If that's Carter Bean, a lot of times he would stay on and try to make Spears play defense. We've seen the same thing out of DeJarlis. However, both of those players will come off. Thatcher, first line offense for the Knights. Mulubai, he can play defense, so I don't want to say he's stuck on defense. He's definitely a defender. Z-line slide. Finds Eric Nord as Sean Lamb, but so much traffic right there. Great job collapsing on that. Into the hands of Sean Lamb. He's going to get a 10-yard shot. Great save from Zickel, and now he secures the ball. That was a dangerous moment for the Colonels. Zickel standing up to those shots. Now just launching the ball on this 10-man ride. Trying to get it to Hull, and quickly grabbed by Ciosi. King on the wrong side of the field. The Knights, again, doing a match feet ride, which is how this attackman ended up on this side, on the defensive side of the field. Knights doing a good job managing numbers, not going off sides. The key there is you just have to, in a match feet ride, you find the person you're riding, and you just make sure you're on the same side of the field as them. Thatcher with the left-handed shot. Well wide, and Sean Lamb will back it up. Jack Furlong and Graham Robbins on defense right now. Furlong is the LSM. Good, solid ground ball. A little vertical cradle from Will Morrison. Love his play. I really like the way Morrison plays. The goal is open. 6 seconds left to get the ball over. And successfully does J.R. Brockman. He's getting pushed by Ciosi. Goal still open. Brockman just getting hounded. Double team from Veers. Eventually a timeout called. I'm not sure about that timeout. I believe that's the second timeout for the Colonels. He has no timeouts left. You don't see that very often in lacrosse, where in the second half a coach uses both timeouts in the third quarter. Brockman couldn't find anybody. He did a just amazing effort to keep control of the ball. He couldn't roll back to where he had help because Ty Veers was there to double. You really need to be, if you're a teammate of Brockman, you have to be working harder to get open for him. As it is, Coach Zimmerman calls the timeout. Down by 3. Still a whole quarter and 3 minutes, so still 18 minutes left to play. Beautiful afternoon. Rolling into the evening. If you haven't had a chance, go to the Instagram page and check out Kiwi Giroux's team, as they have put together a fantastic set of pictures and updates as they chronicle the Knights season here for the men's lax team. On top of that, the women's lax, men's volleyball, all kinds of teams playing right now. The softball team, the baseball team, all have fantastic Instagram pages that the Knights social media team is put together. Highly recommend you jump in, check those out. Full 4-goal scorer David Caldwell, the freshman, start with the ball. He's out there with his line mate Hubbs and Knowlton. Underhill, triggering against Cotrier. Oh, that's not Underhill, sorry, that's McDonald. Rolls to his left hand, finds teammate Caldwell. Caldwell kind of falling down, goes low. Easy read from Brody to stay low on that. If Caldwell brought that ball up, may have had more cage to hit. Brody pumping the fist as the team goes down on the clear. He's jacked up. He's seeing the ball really well. He's got 12 saves. With 20 shots on goal. The Knights with the first midfield line. Nor, Thatcher. Thatcher the freshman. Nor the junior. Really tightening along with Ty Veers, the senior. From Castle Rock, Colorado, Rock Canyon High School. The top scorers over the last 3 years for the Knights. Really been probably their best midfielder. Sidearm shot from Gabe King doesn't find the back of the net. That's a sweet spot for King. Tennyson Schmidt driving to the island, turning away, eventually having to throw it up to Lamb, and he'll trigger from the corner. Got to watch that fade underhand shot. Well played overall from the defense so far, especially with Ian Hubbs. And a great save. That shot was going upper corner. Zickel stays with the shot, grabs it with his stick. The Knights now in the 10-man. Goal is open. Opportunity to shoot. Over the top. Fantastic find to Knowlton, and Knowlton tucks it inside the near pipe. Beat Caleb Brody over the top. That was a little football play. Knowlton cuts inside, and then in a timing play, what a fantastic pass and catch. Amazing from Dobbs. Just looking over the top, finding his teammate. That was incredible. Face off, won by the Knights. Trier with the ground ball, outrunning the defense. Dangerous situation, off the pipe. Tennyson Schmidt can't finish. Michael Brown comes up with the ground ball. So the Knights now up by 2 goals. I actually think that was Graham Robbins. So I think I said Nate Dawes. Graham Robbins, number 22, sophomore from Lakeville, Minnesota. The left-handed dodge from King. Eventually knocked out of bounds by Schmidt. And the Knights again in the 10-man, goal wide open. This time a bounce pass again into Knowlton's hands, and he underhands and can't hit the cage. Wide open goal. Just as the time was expiring in the third quarter. That would have been an amazing 2-goal run. As it is, the Knights come away with a 2-goal lead, just where we were when we started the third quarter. Back and forth we go. 3 goals apiece here in the third quarter. And the Colonels may be finding the secret sauce to beating the 10-man. They're not taking these 40, 50, 70, even 80-yard shots. They're not taking those. What they're doing is trying to find these over-the-top passes to cutting attackmen that are cutting down towards the end line, putting the ball over the top. And it's worked really well. A couple other times they just kind of threw it down. Looked like they were just going to go play for the 50-50 ball, trusting that Caldwell and Hubbs were better at ground balls than the Knights defenders. And that's pretty much ended 50-50. But these last few have been purposeful over-the-top patterns and successfully finding attackmen running onto the ball. Pushed ahead from Arnold. Great ground ball as the long stick of Ian Hubbs was coming out hard to check him, and he does a fantastic job of getting on the ball just before the long stick gets there. Secures it for the Knights. I believe it's the first time the Knights have won the face-off to start the quarter. Can't remember. I have to go back in my mind to that. No, the Knights scored that first goal, so second time the Knights have in this game. Won the first 2 of the second half. Tough pass to handle from Bean to Veers. When you're about 5 yards away and you throw it that quick and it's not exactly on the money, it's just hard to handle. So the early turnover will result in an offensive set from the Colonels. They'll get the first line midfield on. McDonald, Mullaby, also Ethan Hanna running on. For the Knights, short sticks to Jarlis and Bean, along with Michael Brown, will complete the midfield line. Underhill throwing down to Caldwell. And now Caldwell has really what he wants, which is a short stick midfielder. The Knights looking to slide early. See Ciosi just stalking. Fake pass goes up top. Knights have to reorganize against this attack from Hanna. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Again down to Caldwell. This is their best opportunity. He finds Hanna again, and no real shot. The urgency out of that was solid defense from the Knights, but really kind of poor execution in terms of urgency from the Colonels. That weren't really dodging hard enough. We saw this at the end, kind of midway through the second quarter, where they weren't doing anything that would create chaos and movement from the Knights. We saw much better play overall in the third quarter from the Colonels. They need to get back to that kind of aggressive dodging. Ian Hubbs, he's stalking Sean Lamb. A little fake pass still on the stick of Lamb. Ooh, dangerous cut from Thatcher. Sean just not quite seeing it. Better defense. That was really solid defense from Will Morrison, understanding the tendencies of Gabe King, forcing him back to his right hand. And then the poke check with a little can opener move dislodges the ball. And the Knights, not in a 10-man, but are in a match feet ride, which is why Sean Lamb follows Hubbs over the line, over the midfield line. And Caldwell doing good work to get open for his defender. Spears dodging it against Couture, and the excellent pickoff, the nugget from Garrison Cook. Second time we've seen that out of him. Quickly up ahead, unable to get it to Michael Brown. And Sean Lamb overruns the ground ball, but rides it back to the ground. Now Peyton Merwin has a chance. He'll get to it with Gannadian chase. The Knights with a 4-on-5 opportunity if they push it. Quick shot from Couture, backed up by King. Smart shot from Couture. You don't want to put it right into the goalie stick, especially in that situation where you're tired. Trying to get back in transition right there, that was probably the smartest thing that Couture could do. Just allow the defense to get off and settle, get it in the hands of the offense with a shot that could be backed up. Excellent slide and the check on the pass. We've seen that a couple times out of Gavin Fields, the New Berlin, Wisconsin native. Doing a great job on that check. Thatcher's got to move his feet and bounce away from the check. Hard push in the match feet ride. Now down into the hands of Fields. Could have pushed it, decided to find McDonald. McDonald, Underhill, Hannah all coming on from the midfield. Hubbs pushing back to his right hand. That's a great cut. So what you're seeing is, and then the backup from the Knights, Carter Bean backing it up. Hubbs pushing up the right side, rolling to his left hand, and then the scissors cut in front of the crease from Caldwell. Caldwell was open, catching on his strong right hand, just missing the cage. Put it in a good spot. The closer you are, you want to put it low. The goalie's going to try and match your stick. He pulled that down, just didn't get it inside the orange. Bryce Gardner, second midfield line in. Hackey, Gardner, and I believe that'll be Landon Barney out there as well. King with the crossfield pass and shot from Schmidt, unable to get much on that. Nice disruptive check from the defense of the Colonels. And this time Sean hits the pipe, a save, then deflects off the pipe. Dangerous swipe. Wow. That is so dangerous from Hubbs. Just swiped it towards the goal. You never know what's going to be going on there. And Johnny on the spot, Duncan McDonald, said thank you very much. Mr. Zickel, take this and let's start over. Great cut from J.R. Brockman. He's done some really good clearing work. here in the second half. He's got Bryce Gardner on him, so he's not really, if that was a long stick, there'd be a little more pressure. Merwin getting physical far from the cage against Ganiti. Feels like he's got a good, you can do that. You can get that far from the cage. Scraping the passing lane is Cook. The ball does not get through, ends up hitting Ciosi. The wide body linebacker for the Knights football team sucks up that goal, never gets to the cage. Quickly out to Cotrier. Good job from the Colonels to get back in settled defense. Miscommunication. And just cannot find the player weighing down, but getting the ground ball and then off the pipe. Just unfortunate if you're Tennyson Schmidt. Had a wide open pass to the sniper spot on the pipe as the miscommunication. Spears thought he just got out to play a little slap hands and was not looking to switch. Defender thought they were switching. Eventually, Schmidt's able to attack the cage with nobody on him. And then the slide upfield, can't find the open offensive player underneath. Gets the ground ball and shoots it off the pipe. It's great defense. Better offense. With the slide, Sean Lamb gets underneath the defense of Will Morrison. Slide comes from Ian Hubbs, and Sean beats them both and scores, tucking the ball just inside the left pipe. The great thing that Lamb is doing there is he's pushing upfield high enough that when he rolls back underneath, he's got a lot of cage to look at. Sometimes that can allow a defense to come across and get to you quickly, which a near side adjacent slide happened, but the slide just late actually never really came. Opportunity was there to jam it from Ian Hubbs and just not able to take advantage of the double team. Sean scores, puts the Knights up by 3 with just 6:42 left. Face-off win goes the way of the Colonels, and they need a goal here. Knights trying to keep this score in single digits. 60 seconds on the shot clock. Back and forth. Similar offense that we've seen. Here's an inverted dodge going against Carter Bean. Not yet able to draw the slide. Carter Bean drives McDonald underneath. Does a good job avoiding running through the crease. Bean playing perfect defense. Left foot, don't let him top side, and then drive him back below GLE. Ciosi going up against Hubbs. Trying to play the same way. Hubbs can go right hand or left hand, and now Carter Bean says, I want a piece of this. This is a premier matchup. Best offensive player against the Knights' best defensive player. And what a solid dodge. Taking the check from Carter Bean. Hubbs gets to the island, which is about 5 yards up, 5 yards out. As Carter drives on him, he gives him the soft shoulder, causing Carter to go over the top, and then with strong legs able to sit in, shoot that underhand just over the shoulder near side against Caleb Brody. Much needed goal for the Colonels. They need to string another one together. They have not been able to cut this lead to 1 in a long time. Not since the first quarter. Quick win. Pushing down is Croft. Knights get back in defense. Great job getting back. Everybody, that was an opportunity that Croft needed to draw the double team before he moved the ball on. Knights doing a really good job getting back quickly off the first pass. When you're in a man-down situation, your goal is to try to force 1 and then 2 and then 3 passes. In man down, if you force, just in transition man down, you force 3 passes, likely you've now been able to recover. Exactly what happened for the Knights. Forced 2 passes. The back, and then what a great move to the backside, and can't secure the ball. What a solid move from Mullaby. He just toasted the Knights defender, puts the ball across, and then the ball thrown out of bounds from Hubs. Oh, sorry, with Hubs playing defense, the Knights just throw the ball out of bounds. It'll go back into the hands of the Colonels. Knights settling in on the ride, not going match feet or Knowlton circles out. Shot never makes it to the cage. Ground ball secured from Brown. He plants it. The Knights now, again, 2-on-1 into the hands of Caldwell. He's going to re-dodge. The Knights have 4 defenders, 5 defenders, now 6. 2 turnovers in the clear. Fortunate timing for the Colonels, but they've got to take advantage of this opportunity. It's the second time they've been able to turn the Knights over in riding the ball back. Couldn't capitalize the first time. See what McDonald can do as he dodges against DeJarlis. And the scraping the passing lane, which is just putting your stick out there from Brad Gardner. He's long, he's lean, big turns out, looking for his teammates, and does a great job finding Couturier. Incredible timing from Brad Gardner. The Knights needed that to stem the tide of the momentum garnered by the ride of the Colonels. Now with 3 minutes left, 54 seconds, 50 seconds on the shot clock. Clock in the favor of the Knights as they're ahead by 2. Trying to take down the SAA conference preseason. And the ball bounced low. That is an incredible shot from Gabe King. He puts it underhand, does this hard bounce low right at his feet, causing the ball to bounce up and higher than you would normally see that, and up over the shoulder of Zickel. That was a really sneaky shot out of the freshman. He does a little toe drag. Looks like he's going to go Z-line, middle of the field, comes back underneath, drags the stick across his knees, and then leaves it low, bouncing the ball. This hard, low bounce shot that puts the ball high. Really clever shot out of King. And now down 3. Great attack from Sean Lamb to get the ride in, and no opportunity to call timeout as he doesn't even have any to Zimmerman. The ball bouncing around, still on the ground, and Ty Veers eventually able to secure it as it goes through maybe 4 pairs of hands. 60 seconds on the shot clock, 2 minutes left. The Knights can put this clock all the way down to about 1:10. And with a 3-goal lead, Coach Zimmerman has a choice. Does he try to bring the goalie out and have the goal empty the cage, have the goalie cover somebody? Dodge from Carter Bean. Shot eventually caught by Gabe King behind. 30 seconds. Just too late now. You definitely don't want to double at this point in terms of, wow. Underhand on the run. Makes that shot high over the stick and over the head of Zickel. Couple pretty incredible shots by the Knights. Now this one putting them up by 4. That shot from Ty Veers. We've seen him take that shot, similar shot once today. That's really his comfort zone. On the run, headed downfield, and putting that stick down. You don't see shots on the run very often that accurate when you drop the stick down. Something that Ty's worked on for a long time, something that we would constantly talk about, but he's really done a great job in allowing that shot to be more accurate than it normally would. Hockey from Fields to himself. He gets in tight, and bounces the ball way over the cage. He shot that ball basically at his feet. The Knights will call timeout to get their proper defense on the field.
Timeout SVU.
As center backed the shot up. The Knights with a 3-1 goal advantage here in the fourth quarter on a 2-goal run. Gabe King leading all scorers with 4 goals. Tennyson Schmidt with 3 goals, 2 assists. Michael Brown has 2 goals. So quick trigger from Hubbs, draws the slide, comes back underneath. We've seen that out of him. What a fantastic job. He's got a strong right hand and a strong left hand. It's, you know, you're a really good player when it's hard for an announcer to really pick out which hand you favor. He's a right-handed player, but he can dodge so strong with his left hand. Doesn't necessarily have the same pace on his shot with that left hand, but he can dodge left-handed. He can get to open space with his left hand. And that time he gets high, rolls underneath, and finishes over the shoulder of Caleb Brody with a nice little look down, causing Brody just to take a little peek down. And another chance. Ball doesn't get to the cage. They've had a couple opportunities here of the Colonels with Fields coming down, and this one was Croft, and just not able to finish in transition. They got to go quick. 49 seconds left. They don't have much time. Takeaway check from Carter Bean, and this time can't finish the clear. Quickly inbounding the ball, and a timeout from Coach Lamb. What a smart timeout from Coach Lamb. He had one left in his pocket, able to use it on the defensive end in this transition moment. Things were going to be very chaotic and difficult for the Knights defense to get reorganized, and Coach Lamb calling the timeout. This is the value of having those timeouts in your pocket going, down in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Carter Bean with his 5th takeaway, his 5th caused turnover of the season, but then unable to handle the pressure that was put on him, and the ball ends up going out of bounds. Down by 3. So here, Coach Zimmerman. So lacrosse is really unique in the sporting world in that the make it, take it opportunity is available. And with the faceoffs having won 19 of the 29, they're in a good position. If they can score right away, it's not over, but you have about 10 seconds to score. And then you'll have another 10 seconds to score, and then maybe you can get a fast break goal. Triggering down to Caldwell. Back to Hull. He's handled by Justin Mitchell. He'll go to his strong right hand. Pushes upfield to Mullaby. Mullaby bounces it over the cage. Wasted about 17 seconds. Caldwell looking to turn, underhand shot against Brad Gardner. Can't find the cage again. Now we have Mullaby up against Brown. He's going to go to his left hand. Ball's on the deck. Footy, call that a hockey, hockey footy. We do these drills where you just practice kicking the ball into the space where you want to handle it. A little bit hard there for Brown. Save on the low shot from Knowlton. Great job finishing out the game is Caleb Brody with his 15th save of the afternoon as the clock goes to 0-0. The Knights winning a 3-goal victory against the predicted SAA champions, Center College Colonels. Knights with a very much a team effort. Gabe King, as I mentioned, 4 goals, no assists. Tennyson Schmidt leading all players for the Knights with 5 points. 3 goals, 2 assists. Brown with 2 goals. Veers with 2 goals. Lamb with 2 goals. Eric Knorr adds 1 in. Veers and Lamb also have an assist to their credit. Really impressive shooting from King. 4 goals on 5 shots. But Tennyson Schmidt with a couple ground balls, really doing the work in the to push this lead to 2 and then 3 goals. It seemed like Schmidt had the dodging in that critical time at the end of the second as the Colonels were making their run, and then into halftime, it was Schmidt who, with his dodging, really was creating for the Knights. And you got to give credit also, I think, to the Colonels really handling the 10-man ride, finding a way to force Coach Lamb to push his team out of that 10-man after almost giving up 2 quick goals. Knowlton did get the 1 and then almost got the second one just before the half ended. The Knights finish with 18 turnovers and the Colonels with 19. Right around both of their season averages. And I think of note, again, the game played really clean. No penalties called the whole game. I'm trying to remember a game where that happened. I can't remember a game with 0 penalties. That's fantastic. Clean, effective defense from both sides. And the Knights doing a really exactly what Coach Gowdy, they didn't keep it to single digits, but 11-14 with the pace of the game is high. There were only a few, I think maybe 2 shot clock violations. The Knights, maybe 3. The Knights with 1 and the Colonels with 2. But we're going to get a chance right now. We're going to bring Tennyson Schmidt up to the booth to talk about today's game and his team's efforts. We'll put Tennyson on the mic and we'll figure out how the Knights were able to pull off this win. Mr. Tennyson Schmidt, good to have you with us here up in the booth.
Thank you. Good
So,
to be here.
yeah, so first time we've been able to do this with you.
Yeah.
Good, fantastic. So 3 goals, 2 assists for you. Early on, it looked like the offense was a little slow, but man, it really picked up. And I thought that watching the effort from the attack on the ground balls and just, I mean, you had coming into the season, you had 17 ground balls. Sean had 15. You guys worked so hard on that. Talk about the effort that you guys like to put in. I feel like it's a staple of your play.
Yeah, no, it is, and Coach has really emphasized that in practice nowadays. We do Navy GBs every single day, and
What is that?
it's a 3-man ground ball drill. After every single practice, we always finish on that. We always finish on ground balls. Ground balls are so key, and such a big part of our pride as a unit and as a team. Toughness over IQ is what Coach says, and those little moments, ground ball moments, any moment you can win, and especially those ground balls make a huge difference in the game, especially on face-offs, whenever you can get them.
In some conversation with players going into this game, this team, the Colonels, picked to finish first in the Southern Athletic Association. Really a good team.
Yeah.
Coming in, what did you guys feel like was going to be important for you to do in order to secure the win?
What was important for us is just play our game. When we play our game, I don't think a lot of people can hang with us.
What do you mean by that? What is your game?
What I mean by that is we ride hard, we push ball in transition, and you can see in that first quarter we pushed the ball so fast that they couldn't get back in time. They're really scrambled, and we like to push the ball. We like to push the tempo, and like any moment will go as an offense and a defense. And our identity is getting so much stronger. As you can see, we played amazing 6v6 defense tonight, and it shows. We're being aggressive on every aspect of the game. We just had a struggle with clears today, but besides that, we are a team to watch out for. I'll tell you that.
So just speaking of that, you guys were 20 of 27. They were 18 of 21. But it felt like you were able to put pressure on them, even though they may have cleared the ball successfully. There were moments where the pressure caused the turnover, and you guys were able to capitalize in transition. But we're coming the other way. There weren't a lot of fast break opportunities. The defense was doing such a great job of getting back in the hole. And you guys were running that match feet ride, really trying, even without being in a 10-man, just trying to put pressure. They're clearing the ball over, and now there's 50 seconds on the shot clock before they even start initiating any offense.
Yeah, and that's our goal. It's not to, when we ride, it's put pressure and let them make the mistake. And even on my ride over here when they went in and scored, it was because I outpressed, and all I needed to do was stay in front of my guy, and that's all we need to do.
So you push yourself to 31 points on the season. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
19 assists and 19 goals, 12 assists. You really pride yourself, as I've watched your game. Like, you love scoring, and you're a ghost. I say this all the time. You disappear. Covering you as a defender is a nightmare because somehow you just disappear. You turn sideways, and then there's this Houdini act. But it's really, without Westcott here from last year, you're doing more carrying. I loved how you were dodging today and dodging with your head up. But also, with your slight frame, how are you able to still get in good spots against these bigger defenders?
With my slight frame, the only thing that I do as much as anything else is I try to change my speed of my dodge. If I go into a dodge slow, then I'm going to come out really fast. And then if I start out fast, I will stop and I'll roll back. And then I'll get his feet moving. And then I'll take advantage of whatever way his top foot is. And I'm going to go the other way as fast as possible.
And that's really a cool way of approaching. That's a tactical, really looking at your defender. It's awesome. It's shown. You've put so much work into this. Yeah. You guys now are on a 5-game win streak after losing those first 2. Yeah. What's the team morale right now? How's the team feeling?
The team's feeling great. We got great morale. After that second loss, we got together as a team, and we did some team bonding, which was needed, and it was probably one of the best team bonding experiences I've had, and we've come close together as a unit, and we just play for the school, the Knights, and the people that came before us that built this program for us. So we honor them when we play, and we fight for everything that's on our front of our uniform. Knights. We don't play for ourselves. We play for the Knights. So
you have 2 games coming up, conference games. This first one against Piedmont, and then a really big game against Pfeiffer. I know we don't want to overlook the Piedmont game, but the Pfeiffer game at home is going to be huge, and they were picked to finish second. And when you look over the schedules, you look over the win-loss records, Pfeiffer's really shown themselves to be kind of the other big dog in the conference, even though we were picked to finish first in the conference. So 2 big games coming forward. We're excited. That first one will be away, but we get that April 2nd game at home, Pfeiffer. We'll be making the call. We have big expectations for the Knights. And then, this isn't for you. You pretend I'm not talking. Number 4, Christopher Newport comes in. So hopefully everybody out there enjoys watching this game. Tennyson Schmidt, Salt Lake City, Utah native. 5 points on the day. Tenny, you are a senior. What's next for you?
I'm planning on graduating, going into computer science, so I want to be a software engineer, writing code. Right now I'm just enjoying my senior year as much as possible. It's my last time I'll get to play lacrosse. I would love to coach after, but right now I'm just enjoying every moment that I get on the field, every practice I get with the boys, waking up, seeing that beautiful sunrise out here. I just cherish every moment, weight room, conditioning, and for the future, I just want to be the greatest person I can be in every aspect of my life, not just in lacrosse, but in schooling, in my relationships with my friends, with my family, with my girlfriend, everything. I just want to be the best person I can be.
Well, you're fantastic. You know how I feel about you. A lot to be proud of, both for your family and for the Knights. We couldn't ask for a better representative for the university. Again, I'm Scotty Winterton signing off. Appreciate Tenny jumping in on this. Everybody out there, stay safe, take care of each other, and go Knights.
Go Knights.